Hey, what's going on, friends? My podcast every day is broken up into two parts on the free platform. The first part, Act 1, is right now. When it's all done, go right on over to Act 2 to get the second half of the podcast. Thank you so much for checking out my show. Hello, friends. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. Better late than never. Yeah, a little slow on the uptake today. When you start prepping for the podcast at 3 minutes before the top of the hour, when you're supposed to start, that happens. That happens. Welcome in. It is a New Year's Eve edition of the show. When I last left you, I looked like I had AIDS. And I think I made the appropriate changes to make myself look less sickly. But I don't know if you're going to be able to tell. I think just generally, regardless of the lighting, I think facially, I'm becoming quite a mongrel. Like age is like for every day that you people at your age get, I age like 500 days. That's how I feel lately. Just by looking at my miserable, disgusting face. But yeah, I went ahead and like decreased the brightness on this video camera, this new webcam that is a little bit better quality. But what it shows is more of the flaws, and it doesn't give me much wiggle room, you know? So I think that that's kind of, this is more what I look like. So that's fine. I mean, I can handle it if you guys just sit there and insult me to my face like everybody did on the Patreon yesterday. It was like people were killing me. My God. Jeremy says it is an improvement. Not nearly as bright white. I mean, I look like a ghost. It was bad. Linda says it's karma for you being an a-hole to the Lions. I have never once been an a-hole to the Lions. You make it seem like if you're a fan of the Lions and you say anything other than they're going to win, you're an asshole. And that's not true at all. I love the Lions, and I made that very clear to you that I want nothing more than for them to win. But I did not think for a second that they were going to win that game against San Francisco. And don't even try to tell me that when you were watching that game last night, you weren't like, oh, shit, this doesn't look great, because it didn't. Didn't look great at all. Kenny says that he says that's a lie. It's not. He says that me saying they won't win another game, that's not being mean. You disgusting moron. That's me thinking that because of all the injuries, they wouldn't win another game. I stand by it. So no, I didn't lie about anything. Why don't you stick your thumb up your fucking ass and shut up? I have said all along that I want them to win, but I'm very, very worried about all the injuries. So anyway, like I was saying before that fucking moron piped up, the idea that they would win that game is ridiculous, all right? And also, the idea of them, I was worried throughout that whole fucking game, because I was just like, please, nobody get hurt. And nobody was hurt. But there was one moment in particular where Jared Goff is throwing blocks. And I'm like, yeah, let's not do that. Get out of the way, man. This is ridiculous. Dave says that they looked like garbage in the first half, played better in the second half. Their defense couldn't do anything right in the first half. In fact, as the first half ended and the second half began, it continued that way. And I was like, Really what we need to do is just get 1 or 2 stops. That's it. Because the Lions can theoretically score every time they have the ball. Molly, thank you for the 30 bits. She writes, good morning and happy New Year's Eve all. Thanks for the fun this year. And so, yeah, well, we're glad to have you. You make it very, very special when you're here. I think that's something that I'll do is if you do any of those bits, which I think you put your hard-earned dollars into Twitch and they give you those things in your little bank and you can give me those things if you want. If you do that, whatever you say, I stop what I'm doing and read what you say, not stay. Okay? So if you throw 25 bits at me or more, I will say whatever you want me to say, unless if it's something like that's horribly bigoted or racist or whatever the fuck or discriminatory. Then I will say it. So let's kind of do that going forward. Corey said, it's not like you said they all suck dick. Exactly. Kenny says that's not having faith in them. That's not supporting them or rooting for them. Moron. Listen to my words. All right? Now, I know you don't listen when you get emotional, okay? Which is really a sign of low IQ. We can all agree on that. Listen to what I'm telling you. You can, in fact, like a team, but think, oh boy, it's a tough one for them. I don't think they're going to win. You can do that. That does happen, moron. All right? That's where I'm at with the Lions. I told you they were not going to win another game, and Dave is right. Early on in that game, well, for more than half of that game, I was like, this is not good. I had to leave. I walked away. First of all, Diana screams at the team. All right? And that makes me extremely stressed out. And then Diana's brother is screaming too, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. So I walk away. I leave, and then I'll just monitor the update on my phone, and then I do something else. And this is pretty much what it's going to be for the rest of the football season. I might be able to watch it if I'm by myself, but these people make me so anxious, and I can't take it. I just can't take it. So then they start, well, first of all, Brock Purdy started to play football like the last guy drafted in the draft should play. I think Brock Purdy sold his soul to the devil when he was drafted to the NFL. That's the only explanation for this loser performing as well as he has for the first 2 years of his career. And now this year. But this year, I guess he hasn't performed as well, I guess. But anyway, in the second half of that game, he starts airmailing the ball. And then I think some guy for the Lions, I forget his fucking name, Kirby Joseph, he's got a bunch of picks this year. He picked off a couple of them. Linda writes, if Purdy was smart, he wouldn't have played. Yeah, I don't know why. You know more about this shit than I do, if you say so. Aram has also been ignorantly critical of me and my support of the Lions. He says Eric should auction off his Billy Sims signed jersey and donate the proceeds to charity. Yeah, I don't know if that's appropriate in any way. You know, I don't know what world you live in where you can just tell me the things I should do. I mean, I don't tell you what food you should eat. All right? Do I look at you in the face and say, yeah, you should eat meat instead of coffee grinds or whatever it is that you eat every day? No, I don't do any of that shit. So why does everybody want to tell me what I should do with my life? Easy, stop it. There was some crazy bitch on Facebook the other day. He was like, oh, I just want you to stop. You got to stop making fun of Freeberry and Hot Wings. It's like, do I tell you whose dick to suck? No. Shut the fuck up. I'm sick and tired of people trying to tell me what to do. Shut up, bitch. Linda says, like I said, she knows more about this shit than I do. She says that Purdy has a renegotiation of his rookie contract coming up. The game was meaningless to them, and he got hurt. Okay, I see. Yeah, I don't know if he can just say, "Hey, I'm not playing." I don't know. I think you can get in trouble for that. Jeremy says he's a Patriots fan, but if he were to say, quote, "I hope the Patriots win the Super Bowl this year," and then the Patriots won't win the Super Bowl. See how these different things are different. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're aiming at there. I don't know if you're attacking me or Kenny. Ben says you can root for them and have faith in them, but think they might not win, especially with 19 people on injured reserve. Exactly. Yeah, Kenny's a dipshit. That is such hogwash. Him and Aram have conversations before the show, and they discuss about how they're going to try to annoy me. This is losers thinking right here. That's what losers do. Hang on, I'm going to close this door here. I don't like podcasting with the door open. Hang on. Bruce busted in here a few minutes ago and then just left. He didn't even close the door on the way out. Jeremy says, I'm on your side. You're a realistic fan. You understand that hope and reality are different things. Kenny says, Linda knows a lot. It's true. She also doesn't think you've been still supporting the Lions with all your words lately. Oh, I don't know if you can put words in her mouth. I don't think that's a fair thing to do. But she does agree with him, so I guess he does. Oh, well, all right, she's stupid too. So I would say team dipshit today, Linda, Kenny, and Aram. You idiots think that. So are you telling me then, let's just say hypothetically, idiots, that Jared Goff blew out his knee yesterday, and then Jahmyr Gibbs' head flew off, and Amon-Ra St. Brown's legs fell off, and they all got injured. Are you telling me you're like, yeah, they're going to win? And anybody who doesn't think that they're going to win with all those injuries is not a fan anymore. Is that the logic that you're trying to perpetuate here? Because that's dumb. All right? That is a dumb thing to think. And I would expect nothing more from people who can't seem to get it through their heads what I'm trying to say. You see, you don't listen. You're not listening. She says, that's extreme, Dick. Well, of course it's extreme. That's what examples are. Moron Linda says, I will always hope that they win. Well, so do I. I'm using logic. I think they've been through so much that they don't have enough horses anymore because of the injuries. That's all I've said. And you women keep going on and on about the same stupid shit and making things up into this scenario. I have maintained 100% every time that I love them. I want them to win, but I don't think they're going to win. I think they have too much of an obstacle ahead of them. That doesn't make me less of a fan. All right? The only person who has any right to say that she's even a fan would be Linda, because she's old as shit and has rooted for them for as long as I have. All you other idiots like Kenny and Aram, what the fuck? You don't root for the Lions. You can't just jump on the day of. My God. All right. Well, Linda says the difference is I'm not on a platform saying they won't win another game, but please keep doing it because it's working. Idiot. What does it matter? Are you saying that my words have more weight because I'm talking to 40 people, or, well, in this case, 26 people doing a podcast? No. This is bullshit. I will not be attacked by you idiots and with all this nonsense saying, oh, you can't root for him. You know, that's stupid. My God. Chris says, is Linda old as shit? What does that make Maureen a fossil? Oh, yeah. Corey says, anyone that roots for a team not from the local area is a loser. Well, look, I mean, that happens when people move. I get it. I don't understand that, though, when you have somebody who is from here and lived here all their life and suddenly starts rooting for the Chicago Bears for some reason. That would be like if you lived in the area of Tennessee in and around Nashville and you root for the Tennessee Titans and you love them, and then they stink. So you give up on them and you start rooting from another team 900 miles away. Only an asshole would do that. Aram does say, Eric looks a lot better than yesterday. I thought I might have to go to Tier 1 Patreon and audio podcast. Another horrible comment. So, yeah, I guess that's what the audience is doing now. Just attacking me. It might be time for the great Zaniac Exodus number 2. It might be time to blow out these Zaniacs. The great Zaniac Exodus 2.0. And that would mean that Linda and Kenny and Aram and any of the rest of you can go hang out with all your MAGA friends on Castaways United and watch the Boomer Bunker. Wouldn't that be outstanding? If you are cast off. Linda writes, fuck. Zaniac Linda writes, fuck off. Fuck, period, off, period. Corey writes they can all take a field trip on January 6th to the Trump inauguration. Yeah. Fucking Pellerita will be on the corner with Linda and Kenny and Aram at the next Great Food giveaway. You see, now that's like that joke right there is a game changer, suggesting that they are the new Zaniacs. That one stings, and you know it. And that makes me happy. I'm not going to sit here and just be blown up every show by you losers. Fuck that. I haven't even gotten into like the things in the game, my takeaways from that amazing game. Let me just say this. There's a good chance that the Lions can get to and win the Super Bowl. But there's also a good chance that how they get there could also be their undoing. Dan Campbell going for it on fourth down every time. That's pretty much a foregone conclusion now. I liked how Joe Buck said, oh, yeah, fourth down. Dan Campbell's just going to rush the field goal team right out there. The one fourth down didn't work. I don't have a problem with going for it on fourth down. I don't have a problem with them going with playing players that shouldn't be played in a game that is meaningless. I don't have a problem with any of that until it's a problem. This might be the type of thing that gets a guy fired. Like, let's just say Dan Campbell gets to the Super Bowl and it's fourth down and there's a critical moment and he could take the points and it fucks up, it backfires, and they end up losing the game because of it. And then the next year they go to the Super Bowl and the same thing happens. And then the next year they go to the NFC Championship and the same thing happens. Coaches get fired for that shit. Or if somebody got hurt last night, that's a way to get fucking fired. I don't know if that's smart. I think it could work out where they win it, but Ben says, you mean like the NFC Championship last year? Exactly. That this is one thing that I've started to take a good hard look at and think maybe just a little bit more conservatism, perhaps. I think that might need to happen as he matures as a coach. I don't know. What do you think? Because with that last year, now we're establishing a precedent. So I'm a little worried about that. There was a release of Dan Campbell in the locker room. I always love these locker room speeches. They make me happy. So let's play this for everybody right now.
I got an unbelievable amount of respect for you guys. I know what this was.
I think he's getting emotional there.
And there's all these arguments about what did this game really mean, because of next week, I respect the out of you guys. I respect the out of how we roll the ball out and you guys just go out and compete. I can't even put it into words, man. I cannot put it into words. I love the hell out of you guys. I love the hell out of you guys. Listen, we did some things. We got 14 wins. All right, we already talked about once we got to where we were at, 13, that we franchise record, 14's a franchise record, 8-0 on the road. Franchise record, all right? 8-0 on the road, which tells you at its worst, we can go anywhere and win, gentlemen. That's the bottom line. Listen, you can't ask for anything better. To be able to have the division and the 1 seat on the line back at home. Wow. Guys, this is what it's all about. This is why you're in this profession, man. This is as good as it gets. We're so thankful for this opportunity. This could be unbelievable. Appreciate you guys, man. It's a hell of a job. It's a hell of a ride, and we got one more. Break it down.
Hey, I can feel it right now, boys. We know what's at stake next week. Big boy game. Let's go. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
A little bit more subdued in that locker room. So today is Tuesday. You got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 8:20 Sunday. From here on out, it's anxiety-filled for me. I haven't felt this way about anything since the Red Wings were winning Stanley Cups, where you look forward to it, and then you get closer to the goddamn game, and you're kind of watching and just quiet. And that's how it's going to be for me. I don't want and walking away from the TV. But this is different. This is something that, I mean, we're talking 1957. Kenny said, go ahead and say they won't win, Eric. We all know you want to say it. Well, I don't think they're going to win. I really don't. I think that Minnesota's so good. And Detroit is just, I don't know, man. You see what happened yesterday to a team that's only won 6 games. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But I am not getting my hopes up about any of this. So, if they lose, and I think they will, then they're like a 5th seed wild card team. I don't know. That's tough. We shall see. Just too many injuries. Too many injuries. Okay. That's not all that I have from last night. Let's see here. Jake Bates, the kicker for the Lions, who had kind of a horrible game. Missed an extra point. Had another one blocked. He might have missed a field goal. I'm not sure. They cut to him on the sidelines. And everybody's like, what am I seeing? What is this? Now, I knew the second that they showed him what he was doing because I've actually done this. But it looked like he was ejaculating onto the turf through his pants.
Okay, now
look at.
He hasn't gotten any treatment from the medical staff, but he was on his left hip. He had a softball. You've probably done that at home when you've had like a knot in your body somewhere.
So he's you can't see the ball, but he's trying to roll out a certain portion of his leg by, putting his body weight on it. And it's very painful to do.
Okay, now he hasn't gotten any treatment from the medical staff, but he was.
The fact that he's
on his
moving ever so slightly in that position, like that George Costanza tastefully nude poster with his tongue out.
Softball. You've probably done that at home when you've had like a knot in your body somewhere. That's what it looked like he was doing.
Okay,
I asked him how he was doing. He said he was fine.
That explains the video we just showed. He's laying on something. They're down in 3. Cough.
Okay, now.
Fantastic, man. Oh, my God, is that great. Look at holy shit. Now we're getting pictures of Photoshop memes of Jake Bates on the same type of couch that George Costanza is on for a photo shoot. Jeremy says, easy, please go onto the couch behind you and hump the air just like Jake Bates did. That's very nice of you to send that along for, it says 100. I don't even know what that means, $1. But no, I can't do that. I mean, I'll read what you have to say. Kenny's still complaining. Go figure. Linda says, I wish I knew how to use Photoshop. That was great, and now people are really having fun with this. Legatron gets roasted. Very fun. All right. So they end up winning the game. That's that. I'm not going to lie to you. Today is there's very little chance that I've got enough to talk about today to actually do a full show. Corey says, I have 425,000 channel points. I could make every single one of my messages highlighted if I wanted to. Oh. I don't even know what that means. Channel points. Like when you redeem them, is that like dollars? Do I actually get dollars in my pocket? That's all I really care about. When you redeem those, am I getting the money? Corey says he used channel points, which are free. Bits are what cost money. You get channel points just from watching. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought that that was like cash in my pocket. All right. Well, then I don't even know if I should do that. I should probably ignore channel points redemptions then. Why even have those? Kenny says he's got 770,000 of them. So, okay, I think I should just not read Kenny's highlighted posts because he's been such a hard ass along with Linda and Aram. Corey writes, Eric is a big dum-dum. Read it. I use channel points. Ben Glaze writes, Jake Bates, more like Master Bates. Hi-oh! Home run, Kumia. All right. Michael Vick lover, Patrick is here. He writes, Pete Rose died. I think I need to read Patrick's email that he sent to me. About Vic. Now remember, all I said was, I was more amazed at how everybody loves Michael Vick now. And how is that a thing? Where everybody's like, come on, we're welcoming you back. You're great. I don't know how a guy who murders animals is allowed back into the fold. And I said, it's the greatest upset ever. Patrick says, I know what Vic did was horrible. I'm not debating that. There will always be people that don't like him, and that's okay. I understand that. Patrick then blames it possibly on the way he was raised. I do think it is entirely possible that he was raised in a way where he was taught that animals in general are subhuman, and he grew up having a complete lack of empathy towards them. Okay. I don't know how anyone could ever say that. I mean, outside of being the next door neighbor to Michael Vick when he's growing up, and then you walk outside to get the newspaper, and Michael Vick's dad is on the front porch saying, Michael, twirl that pit bull around your head like a lasso and then throw it. I don't understand that. There is literally no way in hell you can make that type of statement. The line, I do think it is entirely possible that he was raised in a way where he was taught that animals in general are subhuman, and he grew up having a complete lack of empathy towards them, is such a stretch. That might be one of the biggest statements in a broad stroke fashion that I have ever read in my entire life. Dare I say, possibly the worst take ever. Oh, yeah, well, he might have been raised, and it's entirely possible he was raised where, you hug your mom, and then you throw a dog off a cliff. That's what you do. So I'm going to take that dumb statement by you and pretend you never spoke it because it's ridiculous. Okay? Don't ever lose sight of how ridiculous of a comment that is. Okay, so you started off okay with, I know what Vic did was horrible. I'm not debating that. Okay, great. There will always be people that don't like him. That's okay. I understand that. But that next line, oh my God, what planet did you grow up on? Anyway, by the way, I answered him with, I hear you, all good, love and hugs. He has no idea that I was going to blister him with this stupid email. He writes, I think intentions matter when you look at a crime. Yeah. And that's why he went to prison. I'm not sure if he even looked at these animals as having feelings. I don't know. I would assume that he did not care about those animals having feelings. Next sentence. I do think they really threw the book at him. Right. Yes. Rightfully so. That's what happens when you kill animals. You should have the book thrown at you. And since his release, he's been squeaky clean. Well, that's good. Good for him. Now he's suggesting, just like racism in many situations, it's passed down. I feel like the same attitude toward animals can be as well. I don't understand how you can assume that, though. You keep like deflecting what he did as, oh yeah, well someone else made him do it. That's probably what happened. Why do you love Michael Vick so much? He says, and I think people with these mentalities can be redeemed. All right. My comment on your Facebook post was really meant for the people that were saying, fuck Vic, I love animals. Happy holidays, Big Fraud. Thank you for all the wonderful content. You're welcome. I'm sorry that you are so wrong. My God. Here's what you got. Asshole with money, kills dogs, gets caught, goes to prison, realizes there is no alternative going forward unless if he behaves. Thus, prison worked. Let the ends justify the means. I have no problem with any of that. What I focus on is when he comes out of prison. To me, it's one thing to be allowed to play football again. It's an entirely different thing to have, with open arms, the world's like, oh, we love you. Frankly, I don't think that the league, I think they should have blackballed him. I think it's a black mark on them to even invite him back. He wins comeback player of the year. I think that's bullshit. I would have blackballed him. Case in point, just like they did Colin Kaepernick. You know, the guy who took a knee because he wanted equality when it comes to policing black people. Oh, yeah, fuck that guy. What? In closing, I would like to say how great I am for my opinion on Michael Vick. Patrick, I love you. But my God, you got to sit a couple plays out. Come on, man. I saw an interview with him, Patrick says. Chris says that's creating a narrative to make your opinions valid. Linda redeems some points and says something. You'll have to put some dollars and cents behind that for me to read that garbage. Maureen says, the people that I meet don't know how to treat animals. It's generational. We try to educate. Patrick says, yes, that is my point. Maureen says, I get it. Okay, you're both wrong because you don't know. Okay? I love it when you guys take like the facts and then you like create something. Well, it's probably because he came from a broken family and he's poor or this or that. You have no idea. We don't know. Now, if Michael Vick today says, hey, I was listening to the Eric Zane Show podcast. I wanted to set the record straight as to why I murdered dogs. My dad said, you will be a great NFL player if you murder pit bulls. So I decided to do it. Okay? That's what I would have to hear. Jeremy says he's been squeaky clean that we know of. Before we knew he was a dog abuser doesn't mean he wasn't an active dog abuser. Linda says, and who are the scumbags watching, betting on that for entertainment? Burn in hell, motherfuckers. Dale is here and says, cannot wait for the Lions beat down this weekend. Okay, now I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean the Lions get beat down or the Lions are beating down the Vikings? Kenny says something. I can't read it because there's not a dollar amount attached to it. Nick says, why are certain animals put on a pedestal? You were gnawing on lamb shins. Yeah, that's a tricky one. I think what it boils down to is that livestock in the food chain is different than my dog that sleeps in my bed. You fuck. Okay? Linda says, good point. No, it's not a good point. All right? When was the last time you ate your dog? You goddamn caveman. I am getting so pissed off with the treatment from this audience. First, attacking my personal appearance, hurting me. Then all the Lions shit. Now all this nonsense. You are the new Zaniacs. The new Zaniacs are here, ladies and gentlemen. Dale Delivers, who's not subscribed. What the fuck are you doing? Says the Lions will get beat down. God, I hope not. Molly, who is just fantastic, says, easy, you look amazing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Thank you, Molly. I appreciate you. Where is the cream queen, by the way? Have you guys ever kissed? That's what everybody wants to know. If you and Cream Queen have ever kissed. Curious minds need to know this information. It is New Year's Eve. I plan on celebrating by going to work. I have a job to do tonight. Hosting the Grand Rapids Griffins, New Year's Eve, and then away we go. They have the world's largest indoor fireworks celebration, or at least that's what I say. So this guy, his name is like Captain Dynamite or USA America Captain Explosion or something like that. He shows up, and he brings out these gigantic pieces of wood, all right? And on each of them are explosives. And he drags them all out onto the ice. Every inch of the ice is firework. They drag all this shit out. The fans are all there. All the lights go out. And then they count it down, the New Year's fireworks celebration. This fireworks celebration cost $1 million. That part is true. They hit the fuse, and then that shit starts going up. Rebecca says, is it safe? Not at all. There's no safety. And you got the fire marshal there tapping his foot. He's got the big hoses ready. He's just ready to just go. Psh, I mean, they're literally waiting. They got the pumper truck there in case the shit goes down. And you know where I am? Still on the ice. I am the only bit of the staff that is allowed to do this because I have to MC this fucking shit show. And I hate it. Right at center ice, there's a enormous bomb. You won't believe how loud this fucking thing is. And when everything's loud up to this point, but when that thing goes off, like 5 minutes for the grand finale, it shakes the glass. It blows my ears out. It's so bad. Oh my God. You can feel it in your chest when it goes off. And then the lights come on. You can't even see the ice. It's just smoke and paper. There's bits of shit everywhere. And it smells like, the War of 1812. It is intense. Piano Fingerbanger says, dude, earplugs. Well, I would, but I have something on like these headphones, and I need to hear what there's a technical director who gives me like cues for shit I have to say. So I'm like, God, and I have to key on the mic. Yeah, now watch this. Boom. It's just fucking horrible. We've been doing it for years. I hate it. It's going to be like, there was some band. What was that band? There was some hair band. I just talked about this. It was some awesome band in the 80s. And then they went to some shitty club in the middle of like butt-fuck Egypt. And the details are fuzzy on this. Like 1,000 losers were all packed into this dump. And I think the capacity was like 50 fucking people. And the stage was made out of like paper. And the lead singer comes out with a fucking flamethrower. He goes, and he starts like shooting flames. And everybody catches on fire. And the walls go up. And everybody died. 1,000 in, 1,000 did not come out. There was like 50 years ago when it happened, and they're still picking up the body parts. Great White. Yes, I remember now. Because the guy just died. Jack Russell. Jack Russell? Cole said Zane should do a history show. Just facts. Linda says, I just listened to a podcast about it yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I remember there was a Dateline special about one of the guys. I think I played it on here. One of the guys who, like, there's an entryway where everybody died. And one guy was trying to get out, and then all of a sudden everybody's hair catches on fire, and he falls on the ground, and all the people land on top of him. And like an hour and a half after the fire's put out, they're lifting bodies out. And that guy was protected by people. My God. And like all of those people who were like a delicious mess, they were like crispy on the outside, tender and juicy on the inside. All those people who are now delicious saved that guy. And he was at the bottom, like totally fine. He didn't even want to leave. They go, hey, oh my God, you're alive. We got to get you out of here. He goes, no, man, this is great. I love it here. This is the most delicious place on the planet. They go, no, seriously, you got to go. And he walked out. He's all right, I'm going home. And he had like a little burn on his leg. And it was like the greatest day for that guy. All right. I want to thank the audience on Facebook for being here. For the rest of it, you got to go to Twitch. That's where I do the rest of my handiwork. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, which we are really light in audience today. This is embarrassing. I don't know if it has to do with New Year's Eve or what, but I'm shocked that this day is anything but a normal work day. Why would you have this off? Chris D is here. He says the camera looks awesome today, EZ. Thank you. I did some adjusting on it to make myself look less shitty. Chris, you missed it. This show started, and Linda Aram and Kenny became the new Zaniacs. Like attacking me, bossing me around. You wouldn't believe it. It was so ugly. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if any second they write something like, yeah, we've been fooling you this whole time. We're with Pellerito right now. We love him. Fuck you. Chris says, or Linda says, Chris, he's being a big baby. Chris says, then Kenny stomped his feet and left. Oh, yeah, well, he's a bitch, all right? He's a total bitch. Linda says, give him a passy, meaning me. Like, I need a passy. Chris says, over what? Well, I'll tell you what. Because I logically said the Lions are in trouble. All right, expect more against the Vikes, what you saw in the first half of that game last night. And they're like, only a true fan would say they're going to win. You're stupid. I hate you. Kay doesn't even know who the Lions are. And Aram's just, he doesn't watch football. That bleeding heart fuck. Aram says, I just tuned back in. I don't know anything that happened since Eric was talking about auctioning off his jersey. Oh, my God. Linda says, I'll take the jersey and give it the home it deserves. Yeah, right. Dale says Sam Darnold is going to carve that defense up. Look, now perhaps this turns into a game. You got to understand something. The quarterback for the Vikings, Sam Darnold, he is like a fourth string practice squad quarterback. He has been in the NFL for years and has been horrible every year. Okay? The only way Lions win is if this guy realizes that the house money he's been playing with dries up. Make no mistake. He is a flash in the pan. He is not a good quarterback. He is not even good enough to be a backup quarterback. I don't know how he's managed to pull this out of his ass for 14 games this year. Now, it could go the way that he falls on his ass. If that happens, the Lions have a shot. Dale, who is a Vikes fan, says, I know he was terrible previously, but the past 2 months he's been amazing. Look, dude. There's no way in hell Sam Darnold is going to be an excellent quarterback for the duration of his career. That guy stinks. Aram says, when Darnold threw a lot of interceptions, it was pretty bad, but he somehow learned how to stop throwing interceptions. He's a former first-round pick. Once again, Eric just saying things without any idea. Look, I do have an idea, idiot. Okay? He's been a pile of shit for his whole career. God damn. Just like you don't have any idea about how important it is for a human being to eat meat, you don't have any idea about what I have an idea about. Yeah, Chris makes a great point. You must have forgotten EZ hosted the Huge Show. Exactly. Are you suggesting I cannot hold my own on a sports talk radio station? Dale says just need him to be great for 4 more games. Well, it might come crashing down on you starting on Sunday. I hope so. What's your story, Dale? You look to be a new person here. All right. Linda says, pick a lane, dude. Yeah, again, do I tell you what guy to not date? No. What's wrong with saying I don't think they're going to win, but if they do, it will be because Sam Darnold falls on his face. Good God. Chris says, how's that fence feel on your butt? All right. Such a problem here. Bob says, didn't you join in on Q100 Sports Talk once? I absolutely did, and I was great on it, especially when I farted on the mic. Some of you may have seen that and remembered it. All right. I am now going to kick the Facebook folks out. See ya. Facebook and Twitch brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Megan from Irvine's texted me and she said, is when the Lions were losing 21-13, she said, is your brother-in-law saying the N-word yet? I said, no, he usually mutters that under his breath. And she wrote back later and said, I want to come over and watch the game in his presence. And I said, and then she caught herself. She goes, no, he won't swear, will he? I go, no, he won't. He catches himself when there's people he doesn't know. That used to not be the case. Corey says goodbye to twos of people on Facebook. No, that's not true. There have been a lot, for me, more and more people watching on Facebook. I've been quite pleased. Anyway. Thank you, as always, to the sponsors. Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance. You can find him at buyinsurancehere.com. So when it comes to life insurance, when it comes to healthcare.gov, or perhaps you or someone you know or love taking advantage of your Medicare and Social Security options, to have to process any of those alone is not fun. And you could screw it up. You could make the wrong decision. Have a trusted source help you. That would be Frank Fuss. Now, Frank doesn't charge you for any of his services. He gets paid by the insurance companies. Whether you're getting into a life insurance policy, which is highly recommended by him and anyone else who knows a thing or two about this, you want your family protected, or perhaps it is your health care policy through healthcare.gov. Frank helps you every step of the way. Go to buyinsurancehere.com. That's BUY insurancehere.com. And have Frank help you out. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage invites you to buy now and refinance later. 231-332-6505. That's 231-332-6505 from anywhere in the U.S. The difference is Mario has so many different options for you depending on where you are in your life. Some of you might be in the spot where you're buying a home for the first time. Well, I got news for you. That is a stressful thing. And, many people have gotten midway through that process and gotten cold feet and pulled the plug on that because they weren't getting the support that they thought they needed to help them navigate this. And, it can be an anxiety-filled time for you. Mario realizes that. 231-332-6505. Call today. All right, that is Act 1 of the podcast. Act 2 is available right after this one. Go check it out. What are you doing? Don't miss a second of it. Thank you so much.